In this market, the sellers who do well and the sellers who sit for weeks wondering what went wrong often have one thing in common: preparation, or lack thereof. With single-family homes median days on market sitting around 18 across the Denver metro right now, a well-prepared home that's priced correctly can still move quickly. But walk into this market unprepared and you'll feel every single day that home sits. Today, I'm giving you the 5 things I tell every seller I work with before ever hitting the MLS. These aren't complicated, but skipping any one of them is a mistake. 1. Get your pricing right before you list. This is the single most important decision you'll make as a seller, and it's the one many people get wrong. In today's Denver metro market, overpricing is expensive. Buyers are educated, they're watching the MLS, they know what comparable homes have sold for, and they're going to skip right past a home that looks overpriced on paper. And once a home sits for 30, 40, 50 days without an offer, it develops a stigma that follows even after you've reduced the price. Buyers start to wonder, what's wrong with it? The right approach is a comparable market analysis, also known as a CMA, built on what similar homes in your specific neighborhood have actually closed for in the last 60 to 90 days. Not what's currently listed, not what your neighbor thought that they'd get, what actually sold and what the market will actually support. Start this conversation with your agent 60 to 90 days before you're wanting to list. That window gives you time to make smart decisions without feeling rushed. 2, fix what buyers will notice first. You don't need to renovate your home before you sell. But there are specific things buyers notice immediately, and if those things look neglected, it colors everything else they see. Start outside. Curb appeal is the first impression, and the exterior photo is often what gets someone to click through or skip your listing entirely. Trim overgrown bushes. Freshen up the front door with some paint if it needs it. Make sure the lawn isn't the worst on the block. And then for inside, focus on the things that buyers mentally price. Leaky faucets, cracked tile, peeling paint, or loose fixtures. These are inexpensive to fix, but they signal to a buyer that the home hasn't been well cared for, and that opens the door to lowball offers and inspection negotiations. Well-maintained homes in Colorado consistently sell for more than homes that need visible work. The ROI on targeted repairs before listing is real, and the keyword here is targeted. Fix what shows. Don't gut your kitchen hoping to recoup it at closing. And if you need help determining what those things should be, I can help with that. I happen to know a pretty good handyman. 3, depersonalize and declutter. Seriously, I know you've heard this before. I'm telling you again because it's the step sellers most consistently underestimate. Buyers need to picture themselves in your home. And that's genuinely hard to do if your family photos are on every wall, your kids' artwork is covering the fridge, and 3 generations of furniture are competing for space in the living room. Remove personal photos. Clear off countertops, pull furniture away from the walls. If a room looks crowded in person, it looks like a closet in photos. And in 2026, buyers are deciding whether to schedule a showing based on photos before they even set foot into your home. And then a couple of Colorado specific notes. If you have pets, and don't get me wrong, I have 2 dogs and I love them, but buyers don't need to know that from the moment they walk in. So put away the food bowls, the toys, and beds before showing. And if you've been storing things in the garage or the basement, get them out before the photos are taken. Buyers interpret full storage spaces as a sign that the house doesn't have enough room. 4, Colorado's legal disclosure requirements. This is the one that surprises some sellers, and it's not optional. Colorado law requires all sellers to disclose all known material defects. That duty is absolute and cannot be waived. In practice, this is done through the Colorado Real Estate Commission Seller Property Disclosure Form, which as of January 2026 has a mandatory use on all residential transactions. Bottom line, you are legally obligated to disclose what you know, and the standard form is how you do it. There are also federal requirements if your home was built before 1978, specifically around lead-based paint disclosures. Your agent or real estate attorney can walk you through exactly what applies to your property, but don't wait until you're under contract to start this process. And another Colorado-specific requirement worth calling out, carbon monoxide alarms are legally required outside sleeping areas on every level of the home, including basements, for any home with a fuel-burning appliance, fireplace, or attached garages. If your units are older than 10 years, replace them before you list. 5, do not skip professional photos. I cannot tell you how many listings I've seen where someone took photos using their phone in a dark room with laundry visible in the background. In 2026, that is just not acceptable. The overwhelming majority of buyers start their home search online, which means your photos are the first showing. Professional photography makes a real difference in how many buyers request a showing, how quickly offers come in, and how your home is perceived versus comparable listings at the same price. Be sure to ask your agent what's included in their marketing. At a minimum, you want professional photos. Video walkthroughs and drone shots can add value for the right property, but start with the photos. This is not the place to cut corners. Sellers who prepare intentionally get better outcomes. Period. Better price, fewer days on market, cleaner transactions. The 5 things I just walked through aren't complicated. They're just the things that actually move the needle. If you're thinking about selling in the North Denver metro and you want a real conversation about what your home is worth and what needs to be done before you list, reach out. That conversation costs you nothing and it could be worth a lot. Be sure and subscribe if you want the kind of no fluff real estate content I'm putting out every other week. And please give a like if you found some value in this video. Appreciate you taking the time to watch. I'm Kristen Rogne, and remember, with Rogne Homes, we help your dreams find their address.